Welcome back to Diecast Resurrection. Today we are going to do a Redline Hot Wheels restoration. We haven't done one of these in quite a while, so I thought maybe we should. This one was sent in by my man Chris. He's the only one who sent in any Redlines, and he has given us a bunch of projects to work on. No mistake, Chris. I'm in my late 30s, and these are the Hot Wheels that my parents would have had. So they've been around the block, and they have seen some stuff. This one looks like it got painted with some purple nail polish, and then somebody tried to key all that off. That's what that looked like. I like to use a little center punch here. Using that center punch is going to help me drill these out perfectly. The old Redline restorations, man. I haven't done one of these in ages. My apologies to my fan base that enjoys Redline restorations. I've kind of just been distracted doing other stuff. Probably seems crazy that I'm using such a big drill bit, but it's not as pointy at the end, so it's not going to cut into the base. Let's see if we can't sneak a screwdriver in here and give it a little twist. Beautiful. What are the chances this will fit in the Ferrari? Let's check. Come on, Ferrari. Yeah, there's no way it ain't working. Yeah, it should be pretty easy to polish. This was a pretty nice car. It was an aqua, clearly. I think I have some aqua, even if we wanted to use aqua again. But this is pretty much ready to get stripped. So we'll just put this stuff to the side and we'll get that happening because we got to get this baby in the zinc plater. I think it's going to be pretty uneventful, so I'm just going to dunk it in there. While we're waiting, can we discuss something I discovered? Alright, you guys know my car wash girls here? They're die-cast little figurines. They're kind of thick. They're working on the van over here. I discovered something today that's a little bit disturbing. And I don't know if this came like this from the factory or if somehow this happened here on the workbench. But we're looking at her, we're like, alright, damn, right? What is up with her face? Seriously, like, I didn't do that. How would she get a drop of that right on her mouth like that? Like, that's freaky. You can almost see her teeth, and she's got the same hairdo as Karen. You know, if we just change the color, we could have a bikini version of Karen. That'd be amazing. But I gotta do something with her face here, man. So we're gonna fix her up, probably in the next video. I am working on doing some awesome graphics for an ice cream truck build. It's called Jimmy Two Scoops. There's a little figurine on the inside of my ice cream truck that's going to need some flesh tone paint. So I'm thinking we'll fix her up at the same time. Alright, we can get a better look at this now. Got a couple big globs of this purple that are just stuck in here. Let's peel this out. There's a glob of purple here. So here's our car. It's hard to tell where the zinc starts and finishes. You can see in these lower spots it's a little bit more shiny. And on the tops of these fenders it's a little bit more gray. So I think the darker spots is where there is zinc left, and it's just getting toned probably from being exposed to oxygen over the years. But since we're going to be replating this thing, it doesn't really matter at this point. I can use a file on here. It's a little bit banged up in the back here. It's crazy how hard the diecast was in the 60s compared to today. It's really soft now. Back then it was super brittle, it feels like. Harder to file. The file just glances off it. Wait till you guys see the ice cream truck I'm working on. It's going to be on white walls. It's going to be lowered. And we're going to do some real bold colors, I think, with the paint. So you don't want to miss it. That one's going to be real cool. It's going to be a fun project. So I'm looking forward to that. Boy, that's a dirty ding. Beautiful. Alright. Maybe we'll switch over to some Scotch-Brite now. I got some fresh stuff here. She's starting to look pretty good now. Keep in mind, the more little dents and chips and stuff we fix now, the better it's going to look at the end, because these paint jobs don't hide anything. You're literally looking at the bare metal below the colored clear coat, so you got to make them as perfect as you possibly can. I totally understand how you old boys could have these red lines all lined up on the shelf, because they look like little jewels when they're finished, eh? They're so beautiful. Alright, well this is looking pretty good now. Give me a second to set up the zinc plater, and I'm going to get myself a little tray for degreasing as well. Alright, so we got a benchtop power supply here. We have our zinc plating solution, which is vinegar. That's loaded up with some Epsom salts. I have a zinc anode. Get all set up here. So I've got this thing absolutely degreased, and I like to use Castrol Super Clean and a toothbrush, and I just scrub the heck out of it. So basically we got our positive hooked up to our anode. We're going to hook our negative up to our car. Go like this. And we can just hang her in there, and then we hit power. I'm going to run this up to about, I don't know, 3 volts. And we're just going to let this go for a little while here, and yeah, we'll check in on it in about 10 minutes or so. Boy, that's a nice even coat. This must have a little flake of paint floating around in there. That looks super nice, right? There's no doubt in anybody's mind now that that didn't just get a nice coating of zinc. So normally what I like to do now is I like to use my brass wire brush. And I'll just get right in there and work it into all the little crannies and stuff. If we just kept zinking and zinking and zinking without ever knocking it down, you could end up with little high spots where it just starts building up. So I'm constantly wire brushing, Scotch-Briting, even sandpapering. Alright, so I'm going to go give it another good degreasing, and then I'm going to drop it back in there for another coat. We'll probably be doing this like 3 or 4 times, so I'll only film it like, I don't know. I'll just film the important stuff from here out. This is basically what my bench looks like when I'm doing this. What you guys aren't seeing is I got my little tray here. She's all sudsy with the super clean. And I just give it a little rinse. And we'll go for another round. Alright, I'm hoping this is the last one. Oh no. Pretty good. You know when you start getting these dark spots? That's probably when you want to pull it out. And give it a once over with some 2000 just to knock down any high spots that might be on here. Just kind of lightly. Make my polishing job a little bit easier. Van Week. Hey, that was pretty fun. Thank you guys for tuning in for that. I don't know what else we could do. A couple people have suggested Wagon Wednesdays. That's not a bad idea, but I think people get tired of doing a wagon every single Wednesday. We could have a wagon week. We'll figure it out. We'll try some new things here. Alright, let me get this out of the way. Gonna leave this stuff out just in case. You never know, we might not be done here. I like to use these yellow cloth polishing wheels. The yellow ones are the coarse ones, the white ones are the fine ones. So I'll be using the yellow for a while here. I think this is a great hobby for anyone who loves tedious work. I've been going through. I did like an initial polish just to see how bad it was. And I got some areas I'm still fixing up. So I might end up putting her back into zinc plater here. I never did get to a full complete showroom polish just because I saw some scratches that I needed to fix up still. So there's been a lot of plating and sanding and plating and sanding. But I want to get as many of these little dings and dents and scratches out as I possibly can. Well, I spent a lot of time building up all those scratch marks that were on there and getting everything as smooth as I can. This is where we're at. Took about 3 hours to get to this point. I don't know how many plating sessions we did. I want to say maybe 5 or so. Everything we've done up to this point right here is the true restoration part of these red lines. The painting part, that's the easy part. This is the hard part right here. Getting it looking good. It's like doing body work on a DeLorean. Alright, I think perhaps now, I think we could finally, we'll do our finishing polish on this. And it should be looking pretty beautiful actually. So I got this thing pretty well sanded as best I can. When I polish, I like to have a cup of very, very soapy water. If you ever find that you're burning your polish onto your car, all you got to do, dip your finger in that really soapy water and it'll just dissolve that polish almost instantly. So I'm going to grab that. And then I think we are good to go. I'm going to use this. I mean, really, it doesn't get much better than that. To go from a car that was like completely keyed up and covered in scratches to, whew, that looks good. I think this one's going to be beautiful. Hell yeah. While I got everything set up here, I might as well polish up this base quick. So normally to take care of this kind of dirtiness we got on the bottom here, we'll do a wire wheelie, do a brass wire wheelie, and we're going to use our metal polish at the same time. And you'll see all the blackness that lifts up. It does a real good job cleaning. It gets in all those little pores. Alright, now we'll hit this with a little polish. Let me get this cleaned up a little bit here. Having the soapy water is so nice. It just keeps everything moving. So you can see already this is looking quite nice. But when we go to a polish, then it really gets crazy. That's way too much. It's way more than I needed. I wasn't even thinking. Man, that's looking like $1 million. A little nerve-wracking drilling these holes when you first start doing this, but you get used to it. Okay, this post is bent over, so it's going to be tricky. Sweet. That's all we needed. I just checked on our body. It's going to be dry pretty soon. It's probably dry already, but I still got to touch up our little windshield here. And I've got some new blades for our base. This particular model of Hot Wheels didn't have any taillights painted on it. So when it comes to the reveal, don't freak out. Jimmy Two Scoops. Why do they call him Jimmy Two Scoops? Because he likes raisins. Do do do. Here's our body, looking pretty smexy. Do 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 do. Boop. And then we need some seats. And then we need our base. And one little screw for good measure. Beautiful. It's a nice clean restoration, this one. Let's get it on the rotisserie. Well, there she is. There's our fully restored Lola GT70. I think she turned out great. The body is almost perfect. There's still a couple little teeny little pits that I must not have seen. Or maybe they just show better with the blue on top. But I think this thing looks great. I think it was well worth the 4 hours it took me to actually get this thing looking straight again. So I didn't want to do a bunch of extra painting on it and put headlights and taillights and things on there that aren't supposed to be there, because I think the people that watch Redline restoration videos like to see the cars as they remember them back then. So that's why I didn't put any of those extra things on there. I think she looks good without it, man. I'm pretty sure I mentioned through the commentary my next video is going to be an ice cream truck. And I got a bunch of stuff planned for that, so we'll be able to do that in the next day or so. And yeah. So I'm going to be posting real soon, so leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.